California's Gold is produced in association with KCET Los Angeles and is seen statewide on California Public Television. This series is endorsed by the California Teachers Association, the California School Boards Association, and the California Library Association.
Hello everybody, I'm Huell. Welcome to the beach. Santa Monica Beach to be exact. That's the Santa Monica Pier right over there. Now this beach is typical of most Southern California beaches. Very wide, white sand, lots of sunshine, lots of surf, and lots of tourists who come here literally from all over the world in search of this stereotypical image they have of what a California beach is supposed to be. Beaches like Laguna and Malibu and Zuma and Huntington and Santa Monica. But you know what? We have some other beaches here in California as well. Beaches in Northern California. Beaches that don't quite fit this stereotype of what a California beach is supposed to be. And that's where we're going to go on this adventure. We're heading north to visit some unique and wonderful and very historic beaches. And if you're curious as to where we're going to go and what beaches we're going to visit, as always, all you have to do is come on along with us as we continue our search together for California's gold. There we were, barreling north on good old Highway 101. Not much California sun here, but there was a lot of beautiful scenery. Lots of big trees, lots of green. Our destination, Patrick's Point State Park, about 25 miles north of Eureka, only 55 miles south of the Oregon border. Now we'd heard there was a beautiful beach here. A beach famous for its agates, and we wanted to check it out. Our guide was Ranger Bob Anderson, who was born and raised in the area, and who knows his stuff. Now we're getting to it.
Well, welcome to Agate Beach.
This is absolutely spectacular. What a shot. Looking, I guess we're looking straight
due
north up the coast?
Due north up the coast. This 5-mile stretch of beach till you get to that Needle Rock up there. One of the most popular beaches in this part of Northern California, Agate Beach. People come here to hunt for agates, to pick up driftwood. As you can see, there's probably 30 people down there, not real crowded. And a lot of people come to these remote beaches just to get away from other people.
Now, how far can we see looking north up there?
There's a little rock right on the horizon out there called Redding Rock. That's 12 miles away. And so you can probably see another 3 or 4 miles past that. It's about all you can see with the curvature of the earth.
This is absolutely spectacular. Now, is this a good day for viewing?
It's a beautiful day for viewing. Not too much fog, low overcast, chance of rain tonight, but that's the North Coast. That's why it's green here. Because
it does get foggy up here, doesn't it?
Yes, it does, especially when it gets hot inland. When the Central Valley gets warmed up, we get that coastal fog coming in, and a lot of people get out of the heat and come over here, and this is their escape. Get down.
So people come here to cool off.
Exactly. A lot of the people that come here in the summertime are from Redding, and you know, when it's 100 degrees over there, they come over here and just bask in the fog.
Now I got to tell you, walking down this trail to get to the beach, look out here at this, Louis. This is absolutely spectacular with the beach framed with the, what kind of trees are these?
These are spruce trees.
Spruce trees.
Sitka spruce.
And this huge big bluff over here.
Right, it's a pretty unstable bluff here. That's the kind of geology we have here. It keeps moving on us. In fact, we had part of the parking lot fall off about 12 years ago. But
so it's still moving around here?
Yes, it does.
Well, it's beautiful. We still got a ways to go. Here's some hikers here. Good morning, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, thanks.
What's it like down there?
Oh, it's great. There's a lot of agates down there, a lot of little driftwood pieces.
Now here comes a guy. Look, he's showing off his agates already. Show them off to us. Where'd you find them?
in the little pile of rock up the beach.
Uh-huh.
There's not much rock showing today, but there are a few agates.
So are there good agate days and bad agate days?
Depends on the amount of rock showing.
Uh-huh. What do you
Yeah.
mean by the amount of rock showing?
Well, all the sand covers the rock, the agate. I haven't been here in a few years, but we used to come up here and find 50 or 100 of them
Really, at one time?
many, many years ago.
And now you're down to
Four.
three big ones and 3 little ones.
Right.
Now what do you got to do with these things?
Put them on the shelf. What do most people do with them?
I guess so. You don't try to sell them or do anything with them?
Oh, no.
Just put them on a shelf.
Just-
Is this what locals around here do?
This one does.
So a lot of people come down here and do just what this guy did.
Yep.
Come down and relax on the beach.
Uh-huh.
A good walk on the beach is good for you.
What's the deal here? People just come down and...
They're just coming down to recreate, walk on the beach, look at the scenery, hunt for agates, pick up driftwood, and relax.
Now, are you all locals?
We're from Cloverdale. And actually, we just came down from Oregon. We're on our way home.
Ah.
We thought we'd stop here and enjoy a couple hours before we get on the road again.
Now, the beaches here are different from the beaches in Southern California, aren't they?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a whole different beach experience.
It is, yeah, it is. You get a lot of more interesting sights down there in Southern California, if you know what I mean.
Well, this is pretty nice right here. Look at this.
No, this is beautiful. This is gorgeous. I mean, you don't get better coastline than this.
You just don't see many bikinis on the beach here, do you?
No, you come in your sweatshirts and your jeans.
Now, there's no doubt in the world what this lady is doing over here. You are looking for agates.
Yes, I am.
Now, give us show us how you look for agates.
I'm a beginner at this. Go ask that lady over there. I'm with her. She's the pro.
So what do? You just kind of go through the rocks?
Mm-hmm.
Have you found anything yet?
I haven't found anything yet. She has.
And how long have you been sitting here?
Well, in various spots for about an hour.
Give her an agate. The Ranger's got agates.
Oh, bless your heart. Thank you.
That's not quite the same as finding it yourself.
No, it's not. I'm still looking for my first agate.
Now, is this the agate lady?
That's the one I'm here with.
Come on, let's go down here and talk to her. Come here a minute. Your friend has been sitting on the beach for over an hour. She hadn't found anything yet.
Oh, let me see. They're little ones.
Oh,
It's kind
look.
of slim today.
That's
Yeah.
all you found
That's
all
it.
day?
Yeah. It's not much out. But see down there, you can see them gathering up. So about another hour, say about
So
another
you
hour.
sound like you know what you're talking about. Are
I'm
you
from up
local?
here. Oh yeah, Eureka.
So you're
I'm
up
all
here
the
how
time.
often?
During the summer, almost every weekend.
Really?
Between
Looking
here-
for agates?
Yeah, between here and Dry Lagoon, we're up here quite a bit.
Now, what do you do with the agates when you find them?
Well, I put most of them in a jar until I get, a little inspiration and put something together. Just put them around a jar or a plant, pot or something like that. You can make pretty much anything.
Is it worth the effort?
Oh, absolutely. You bet.
Just
You bet.
because you found them yourself?
And looking, it's just the search. People, go hunting for gold. We're near here, so we go hunting for these.
Okay, now it's time for the agate test. You brought a rock over, showed it to Bob, and
Yeah.
asked him whether it was an agate or not.
Right.
And what do you do, Bob, to decide whether it's an agate?
Well, one way to really get the true color of it out is just to lick it and get it wet, and you can see the striations in it a lot better that way.
So after you've licked this rock, is it an agate or not?
After I lick this rock, I give it to Brent and ask him because he's the expert.
Okay, here's our other expert. You spit on your rock.
I prefer not to have contact with my tongue.
So now you are the agate expert around here. Do you want to lick on the other side of it, or can you tell by just looking?
I prefer not to lick the other side, but we can pretty well tell this is not an agate. Okay, it more than likely looks like a piece of petrified wood.
Really?
Yeah, that we get actually substantial amounts of it washed up here, but it's a lot of things that people walk by because they're so busy looking for the agate, they walk by everything else that's here.
And people probably find things just like the couple we passed on the trail coming down. They were so proud of the fact that they had found agates, and of course Bob quickly told them that their whole handful of rocks were not agates. That happens a lot. People think they have found agates, but they really haven't.
That does happen a lot, but at our visitor center and at the entrance station, we have good examples of agates so people can get an idea of what they look like before they come down. And, but you know, it's okay to find a whole handful of pretty rocks too.
Yeah, and you don't officially recommend people lick rocks, do you?
Doesn't hurt.
All right, let's talk just a little about agates.
Okay.
You're the agate man. Look at this, Louis. We've got some beautiful, the sun's just come out. We've got some shiny agates in your hand here. What are agates exactly?
Well,
oh boy, look at this one.
Yeah.
This one is really shiny, shiny, shiny. It's like it's been rolled.
Yeah, it is, and you got to think that the ocean and the sand are just are a natural polishing machine. And so what happens is there's actually basically two theories. They come out of the soft sands here. They're a precipitous type rock. In other words, they're transported by water, and they're small microscopic quartz crystals that form in pockets, as you can see, say for example on this one, which is in its coarsest form.
This is a rough looking agate.
Very rough, probably is the one that just immersed out, and so you can see how it's very uneven, very unsmooth.
And then the one right next to it is very shiny.
Right, and so what happens, they end up to the beach, they get caught into the tide, and then they're constantly turned with the salt water and the sand onto the beach, off to the beach, onto the beach, buried into the sand, pulled back off, and just slowly ground up over time, and then they get polished. And as you walk along the beach, and the smaller they get, generally, the more polished they'll become, mainly because they tumble faster.
And you can see them.
And they look like specks of glass almost.
Now, why agates up and down this beach? Why is this called Agate Beach and the other beaches up and down the northern coast of California not called agate beaches?
Best answer I have for that one is because of Patrick's Point State Park being here, and we have tremendous access here. We get lots of people who come to the park, and this is adjacent to it. Actually, the best agates we find up are about 5 miles north. If you look up north there, up at between Dry Lagoon and Stone Lagoon, up at Sharp's Point up here.
So wait a minute, the best agates
aren't
on Agate Beach.
No, mainly because so many people come here, nobody goes there because the access is so poor. They have to walk about 3 miles across the beach just to get to the place where you can actually find them.
Are these things valuable? Most of the people we've talked with today are just putting them in jars or on shelves or just kind of fooling around with them. Can you do anything with them? Do they have any real value?
Well, they're called semi-precious, and I always tell people they're more semi than precious. Okay, is the best explanation. For the most part, really no great tremendous value. Sentimental, if you found it. Many of the people have brought back many they found here that they've had put in settings and are just wonderful pieces of jewelry. But the setting and all the trimmings that go with it add to the cost of it. If you find one of symmetrical size, a couple years ago a gentleman found one about the size of a quarter, but it was a perfectly symmetrical heart shape. Probably it would have a much more bigger value than, you know, one of these.
But you're not talking about a lot of money here.
No. We're not talking lots of money. We're not talking in anything else, you know. And this makes somewhat of a cumbersome earring.
Yeah. So the idea is just to come to this beautiful beach, find an agate, go home and tell everybody that you picked this up on the beach.
Right. It's just fun. That's all people. They just have a good time.
Well, we had so much fun at Patrick's Point State Beach looking for agates. We thought we'd continue the theme of looking for things on the beach. We did this by heading down to Mendocino County. Our destination? The beach at Fort Bragg, where one man's junk has definitely become another man's treasure.
Well, here we are. We have arrived on our state's beautiful north coast. Look at this down here. This is just about as beautiful as it gets. I've been getting letters about this particular beach for years, and we are finally here. And Wilbur, you'd never know I was from LA, would you?
You're with the rest of the tourists, you may as well have a sign around your neck.
Absolutely.
In Fort Bragg.
I gotta tell you, when we left LA this morning, we flew up to Oakland and then got a rental car to get here. It was about 90 degrees in LA today. It's not quite 90 here.
Not 90 here, no.
Is this normal? What is the average?
This is fairly normal for August. Our best weather is a little later on in September and October.
Yeah.
Now this wind goes away then for a little while.
Well, I gotta tell you, it's
better than fog.
It's clear and it's crisp, and we know we're alive standing here in my shorts.
For sure.
All right, now we're coming over here because you're kind of the local town historian. You know the answers to all the questions, and here's the beach right here. This is our destination. It's called Glass Beach. And Wilbur, what is the story on Glass Beach?
Many, many years ago, the old timers all thought that if they threw things into water or the ocean, that all the problems with it went away. And of course they didn't have recycling either, so they just threw all this stuff over into the ocean, and it gradually built up to such a point that the fire that continually burned melted all of the glass and all of those things into clumps and lumps, which the ocean has now transformed into partial sand and partial small glass rocks.
So wait a minute, this used to be the site of the city dump for Fort Bragg.
This was the city dump.
Back when?
Oh, from World War I until the late 1960s.
Uh-huh.
So more than 60 years, probably more than 60 years, all of the things that people didn't, all the rubbish that people didn't want came right over that cement concrete form there.
Now all of the rest of the garbage has washed out. What's left is just the bits of glass, right?
Yes, that's the only thing that stayed with it this long. They get polished in the surf, but it hasn't pounded it into tiny, tiny pieces yet, but it's inevitable. Someday this will just be sand.
It's working it down.
Working it down smaller and smaller.
All right, obviously a lot of people have heard about it because the beach is packed. Let's go down and visit Glass Beach and find some glass.
Why not?
All right, we're coming down. Boy, it's windy down here. Howdy, kids. Are you finding any glass?
Yeah, lots.
Let's see what you got.
Shells, too.
Oh, look.
Shells.
Yeah, but you got a lot of glass in there. Look at this. Pieces of glass. Here, pull one of them out. Pull one of the big, let's take a look. Where's some nice glass? Oh, look at this. Now, Wilbur, that's what you're talking about.
This is exactly it.
It's just been polished.
The wave action rolls it over and over. They bump against each other, just like using a tumbler for someone who works with gemstones. And it eventually polishes it all smooth.
All right, I'm putting this back. I dropped a piece. What are you going to do with all this glass? Do you know?
Collect it.
You're going to do what?
Collect it.
Oh, collect it. A lot of people collect it, don't they?
Lots of people collect it.
Oh, you're finding a whole bunch of it. Look over here, Louie. Let's see how do we collect it? What are we looking for?
Just when the tide goes out, I guess, look for really polished glass.
Now, what are you going to do with this glass?
These guys are in preschool, and they'll probably take it to class tomorrow and show their classmates. Their teacher was the one that told us about this place. We live all the way by Chico, California, so we came out here.
Can I look at your glass bucket? Yeah. Look in here. Let me pour it out.
There's some shells in there, too.
Yeah, you got some shells, but look at this. Just full of beautiful Some of it is more obscure than others. It's not shiny. It's been rolled a lot.
It's rolled more. The friction and the hitting sometimes breaks it. So you can see some sharp edges there.
Yeah.
That's been broken by the waves. But then eventually all polished smooth again like this piece here.
Let me hand them back to you. Here's your glass back. Louis, I don't know whether the camera can pick it up, but this whole area out here is just glistening. All of this. Look at this glass. Do you know the story behind it?
No, I don't. I just read a pamphlet coming into town saying that it was used to be part of the trash, the dump at the area here.
This is the old Fort Bragg dump.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
You know, what I can't believe is that there's still any left after people have been collecting it all these years.
Well, I think it keeps washing up. This is deep. There's a lot of depth here, and then big waves come in the winter, and it washes more up from underneath. When this was done, there was no place to recycle.
Well, actually, it's kind of nice to see something like trash turn into something so nice as this.
Oh, we got a whole family working here. Hi. Stand up and talk to us here. Tell me how you planned this out. What was your plan of attack?
Well, we're on a summer vacation, and Grandma came down here many years ago and wanted to come back to Glass Beach, so this is the first thing we've done since we've been here in Fort Bragg.
So your grandmother...
Yes, their grandmother.
Your mother told you about this.
Right, right. They did it years ago when they came to Fort Bragg.
Did you have any idea it was going to be like this? Because I didn't.
No, you know, when we came out here, my husband and I, we didn't think there'd be any more. We came out here about 10 years ago probably, and we didn't think there'd be any more glass out here, and there still is. So this must have been a pretty large garbage dump, huh?
I like the orange.
You like the orange?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's find a good piece. Show me how to look for glass.
Look down and you find like this.
Just a little piece like that?
Yeah.
Can you find me a bigger piece?
Nice.
Oh, look. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that, a little piece of green and a little piece of white. Now here's a group over here. You looking for anything in particular?
The blue ones.
The blue ones. And boy, you hit the jackpot. Look at this,
yeah,
Louie.
2 of them.
Look at this. That's your find for the day?
I think there might be 2 more in my bucket. The blue ones and the red ones are really hard to find.
Wow.
So that's what we always go for.
What are you going to do with those little specks?
I have a little glass bottle at home that I put them in.
So it sounds to me like you've been down here before.
Yeah, it's a fun place to bring the kids.
You're local?
We're local.
So the locals come down here too.
Sure, why not?
It's amazing because the glass is rounded and smooth, and there's all different colors. I wasn't sure what to expect.
Me either.
And I'm really impressed. It's really wonderful. It's all sparkly, but none of it's sharp.
Yeah, I had no idea there was going to be so much of it. It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Wilbur, where is the rest of the dump? All the other stuff that went into the dump all those decades?
Well, the organic material has either rotted or washed away in the ocean.
Yeah.
Some things have the wood was burned, paper and things like that were burned, but iron and metal, you can see the remnants of some of that here.
So this was stuff from the dump.
That looks like an old water heater.
Uh-huh.
I don't think you can pull it
Oh,
up.
that's not going anywhere. Oh, boy.
These are I think they're all rusted together. You'd have to lift half the beach to lift that up.
So this is all historic dump stuff here.
Yeah, it was dumped off that. Right off that
They would
wall
just
up there.
bring the trucks up?
Back a truck up to that and throw it right down here.
Now what does this mean? Litter Beach?
I have no
Denial with a question mark on there.
I have no idea why people write anything anywhere.
But the truth of the matter is, if there was ever an example of what's one man's junk is another man's treasure.
Here it is right here.
Is right here.
Right here. The whole beach full of it. And
treasure, not junk.
Yeah, all of this was thrown away by someone. Probably because it was dangerous broken glass. And look at it now, all polished and nice, it's pretty.
Well, that's the end of our beach adventure, and hopefully from now on, when we think about California beaches, we won't just think about those popular, crowded beaches down in Southern California that are used in all the movies and television shows. We'll also remember our Northern California beaches. Beaches like Patrick's Point State Beach, where you can get the agates, or Glass Beach here in Mendocino County. Both of these beaches are historic and beautiful. They're hard to get to, but well worth the trip. And of course, both of them are also fine examples of California's gold. It doesn't get any prettier than this. Goodbye, everybody. Well, hello everybody, I'm Huell Hauser, and I sure hope you enjoyed this adventure. If you'd like to see it again or share it with your family or friends, or perhaps donate a copy to your local school or library, it's available on video cassette and on DVD. All you have to do is call 1-800-266-5727, and we'll be glad to send it to you right away.